Whoa! Where did that come from?
Person drinking tea over there. Oh, looks like she's having some kind of tea party with friends. We're just in time. Aren't we gonna go?
Well, Officer Edler, after all that work, I think we've got them this time. Might take a few days to wrap up things in the field. In the meantime,
Much appreciated, Miss Yelan. This case really... 13 strongholds. One thieving week. I'm just glad we finally took down these crooks. Anyway...
Don't forget to take some tea and dim sum back to your friend.
Oh, looks like Yelan's friend left.
Ah, another pleasant surprise. Traveler, Paimon, take a seat. Excuse me. A pot of your finest Yunlai white tea. Now, judging by that expression, I assume...
Ah! Spies? What spies? There were...
Oh, more than that, I'm sure. I bet they already sent someone to tail Officer...
Oh, so you're tracking down some criminals? They've got some nerves.
Well, those tend to be the kinds of cases that cross my desk. If I could leave it to someone... Mora laundering. To the tune of 10 figures and counting.
Laundry? What does that have to do with Mora?
In layman's terms, a certain merchant in Fontaine possesses... So, you cover your tracks, create a front to avoid... And this merchant's front of choice? Fine art and antique auctioneering. He buys goods from all over Tevat, brings them back to Fontaine, and rebrands them as pieces of... Then, when the items go to auction, he buys them up at their inflated price with his own... This process allows him to legitimize his illicit wealth. He even launders Mora for other criminals. That's to be expected, I suppose. In Chenyu Vale, you can get your hands on exquisite Liyue goods being used in illicit underground schemes poses a... So, instead of getting to enjoy my long-awaited vacation in...
Okay, Paimon thinks she gets it now. It's like... But if you know what this merchant is up to, you go to the auction, wait for him to appear, then...
Not a bad plan, Paimon. If you were the mastermind behind this whole scheme, would you really expose your...
Oh, yeah. You wouldn't want to be seen... No, wait! Even if Paimon turned bad, the Traveler would never... Oh, Paimon gets it now. Even if you track down the goods, if this dark finance...
It's not just a matter of who's at the auction. You also have to source the goods, transport them back to Fontaine, get them to the auction house. Tracking down the goods is already complicated enough. They change, so the most logical course of action is you start small. You find someone you can follow behind all the smoke screens, who'll lead you straight back to the dark finance...
Wait, so you were just pretend?
Right you are, Traveler. Working with the Millilith and Officer Edler, we managed to launch attacks on all of the dark finance... Those spies just now were his most important agents. The first is Corday, a senior member of the Fontaine Antique Association, in charge of auctioning off the goods. And they're under pressure to salvage the situation. So we let them slip through the cracks. They think keeping tabs on Officer Edler will allow them to operate under her radar. But little do they know, while their attention's fixed. So, interested in coming along for the ride? I'm curious how you take to this line of work. Could be some potential there.
Yeah, we kind of stumbled into this whole thing, but now we're a part. Let's do it! For Yelan!
I admire your selflessness. Let me be the one to look out for your self-interests then. Namely, your payment. Getting started is always the hardest part, but luckily, the Dark Financier's crew is even more on guard than usual, and I think I know just the place to start.
Let's go find some treasure.
Bring it!
Light it up!
All right, let's start our investigation here.
So, we can all agree this is just a normal stretch of wilderness, right?
Well, it didn't take long for you to understand our role here, Traveler. Thinking like a top agent already. Impressive. Like I said, we need to start small. If we want to track down the man himself, our best bet is to start, and to do that, locating his hidden which brings us to why we're here. Pretty good vantage point from up here.
Huh, guess so. Paimon can see the port of Yilong.
It's a lighthouse. The Millilith used it to monitor the situation at sea. Oh, let's hear it. Not too far off at all, Trav. The Millilith maintain an impeccable level of security in Shenyu Vale through this location offers a perfect vantage point to observe their lighthouse signals and deduce their patterns of behavior, which is a huge help so we should be able to find traces of the dark financier.
Oh, okay. Paimon doesn't
It's simple. Just take this forensic imaging device and invest. Well, all set? Remember, an eye for detail. Some good finds. Whatever door this key opens could be critical to the investigation.
So there really is evidence around here. What if the Millilith...
These objects suggest the Dark Financier scouts were likely disguised as fishermen. All they'd need to do is come up with a believable excuse, like needing a place to rest.
Paimon can just see their smug faces getting a...
Not to mention, the traces on these objects are fresh, which means the scout here is still active, so we need to stay vigilant. We can't let... I had a hunch this area was being used as a lookout, and I was right. Any ideas? Spot on again, Traveler. Looks like you don't need anyone to hold. Given a carrier pigeon's speed, the two locations should be close enough to deliver, ruling out areas within line of sight of the lighthouse, as well as places with a lot of foot traffic.
That just leaves...
That certainly sounds plausible. You have the cover of the mountains, and the... Well, our next destination is to...
Phew. Hip.
Nothing out of the ordinary here.
That's right. No detail is too small. The evidence could be even more. All right. Well, well. Looks like now, time to test out the kiwi. This isn't their home turf, so... I'll take it from here. The last thing we want is to leave traces behind in there. Caution is the name. You two keep a lookout. Make sure no one barges in.
You got it! This is a first for us. Good point.
All right, that's done. I've noted the feature. We need to keep a lookout for these features at the auction and pinpoint the person.
Wow! That was fast!
Now, we wait. There are countless auctions. I'll continue to conduct surveillance in the area, keep tabs on the situation, and attempt to decipher their coded messaging. Once his two lackeys move the goods, we can shift our focus to the upcoming auction. And
got it! All we can do now? Wait, and then follow them.
This whole time, Officer Edler has been leading her two stalkers on a wild goose chase around Chaoying village. Not to mention our operation has already put them under extreme pressure. So let's meet back up at Yilong Wharf in 2...
Good things come to those who don't. Get out of here!